What marketing lessons can small business learn from the GM collapse? On the 1st of June, the largest US automaker, General Motors Corp, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the federal court in downtown Manhattan. You can now add GM to the illustrious company sitting behind WorldCom and Lehman Brothers as the third biggest bankruptcy in US history. Just what you need on your resume. General Motors used to be among the giant companies widely considered too big to fail. How could this giant collapse? The company says it has $172.81 billion in debt and $82.29 billion in assets. This crippling debt has finally brought this 101-year-old Detroit company to its deathbed. It's been on life support for quite a while. GM received $19 billion of emergency aid from the Treasury to keep it afloat. And they're begging for more handouts, a further $30 billion from the government to see them through the bankruptcy. GM's been strangled by debt because it refused to live in the real world. Plummeting car sales, excessive management packages, workers on bloated union salaries, and crippling health bill. They just keep borrowing, hoping all the problems would go away. Manage your cash flow. Just remember, turnover for vanity and net profit for sanity. GM didn't change with the times. They still want to build monster gas guzzlers. They're a marketing dinosaur, just pumping out another boring TV commercial. That should solve the problem. Their cars are like their name, General, bland, boring cars. The company was product focused. It did not matter what the company wanted. GM already built the cars. That's what happens when you let bean counters in charge of marketing, blinded by short-term balance sheet and a quick fix. So they axe design and research, and they stunt the future growth of the business. If we build it, they will buy it mindset. The only trouble, Americans are voting with their wallets. They're buying Toyota Priuses or Lexus, even Hyundais. People won't just buy your car because it's made in the US. GM offers no value. They only hold 50% of their value after 3 years. Let's face it, why would you buy a GM car? It's a bit like driving a hippo on wheels. Imported cars just offer better value, packed with more options and ooze style, better fuel economy, safer to drive, superior quality, and what's more, they're usually cheaper. GM were also poor marketers. Although they spent millions on advertising, they weren't reaching the right people. They fell into the trap of image advertising. Just another interruption in the day. Ads got buried in all the noise. So let this be a warning. The hard times are coming. If your company doesn't pay attention, it can suffer the same fate as GM, except the government won't be there to bail you out. So what are your options? You can follow the GM model, Ostrich marketing, and do nothing and hope it all goes away. Not the best strategy. Business is under pressure. You don't need any more pressure. There are only 3 ways to grow a business. Get more clients. This is where most companies focus their attention. That's what GM tried to do. The only trouble, it costs 8 times more to get new customers rather than looking after your existing customers. Next, get your customers spend more money. It's called an upsell. McDonald's are good at this. Do you want fries with your burger or a supersize? I'm sure you can find ways to increase the size of the sale either with upsells, cross-sells, or even bundling products. Get your customers to buy more often. That was one of the problems of GM. Bought it, the car, and you wouldn't replace it for another 4 or 5 years. So they couldn't get repeat business. And let's face it, once you buy a GM car, why would you ever buy another one? Have a reason why your customers should buy from you more regularly. Make it easier for them to buy, offer them terms, or let them use PayPal. The secret to marketing, finding a hungry crowd. Target people who want your product or service. Don't be like the GM and try to sell to everybody. It's too expensive. It will kill you. Stop wasting money chasing people who have no need or don't even know your product exists. Instead of wasting your advertising dollars on boring TV commercials, get their permission to send them useful information by email. Come to your website. They're looking. They may not buy now, as only 3% of the people buy at any moment. However, over 30% of people looking buy in the next 60 days. If you had their email, you could keep educating them on how your product will solve their problem. Don't focus your marketing on your products. Find out what your customers want and solve their problems. Most companies fail because they build fantastic widgets. Unfortunately, no one actually wants your widget. Research your market, find out what they're looking for, then you'll have a much better chance of succeeding. Here's an idea. Solve the people's problem they're looking for. They want a solution. That's why they're searching on Google. They have a problem, show them how your product or service will ease their pain. That's how you get raving fans who are happy to pull out their wallet and hand you their credit cards. So how do you get more business? One of the best ways to generate sales, send a letter or a newsletter, letting them know of the upcoming events or different ways that they can use your product and even new ideas. Because of the passing parade, people move on and may not be aware of all the solutions you provide. Use the internet. It's a good way to access people looking for a solution. In the mind of the prospect, if you don't show up in Google, you don't exist. Send out emails. Go through all the people you've dealt with and build an email list. Then you can set up an email campaign letting them know your latest promotion. Also send out useful information to build a relationship. Jump on board the social media. Millions of people are hanging out on Facebook using Twitter. Become part of the community and you'll create passionate, raving fans. Would you rather buy something because you saw an ad or rather because a friend recommended a product? Use advertising. You should be able to negotiate cheap advertising because the media companies are struggling to sell TV and newspaper ads. Even the billboards are vacant. If this form of advertising suits your products or service, then use it as a direct response advertising. Don't waste your money building a brand, you'll go broke. Use the power of PR to get other media outlets to pick up your story and run with it. This helps build credibility. Magazines, newspapers and radios are always looking for interesting, relevant stories and experts to call on. Give the customer what they want. If you help your customer and give enough value, they'll be happy to spend money with you and they'll also tell their friends. If you enjoy this information and would like to receive more marketing information to help grow your business, I've created a free report how small businesses can use social media marketing to dominate your market because you'll create raving fans even if you're a complete beginner. So to get your copy of the social media cheat sheet, go to rowansheed.flash/social media cheat sheet.html, which is a bit of a mouthful, or just click on the link.